we're in a good spot. And we're also hungry. We're also determined to get better. And it's critical at this point of the year. I mean, we're not even a quarter way through the season.
Well, first of two Mike Macdonald shows this week, as we'll do it again on Friday, coming off the Thursday night short week. But Coach, with us right now. Good morning. Congratulations, 2 in a row.
Thanks. Yeah, it was good to see you guys.
Is that
I'm fired up two times this week. That's news to me.
You can see the excitement. It's just emanating out of him. Wow, look at how pumped he is. Is that yesterday about as complete a team win as you can get?
I'd say it's probably the most complete win we've had since in the last year or so. Yeah, I mean, look, it was a great win. It was awesome. It's also week 3, and we've gotten to this point by sticking to abiding by our process and staying true to that. When you watch the tape, I'm not saying this because you're doing the whole like head coach doing the opposite thing, but there's plenty of stuff that we get it cleaned up, and we got to do it in a hurry. In all 3 phases. So it's great. It's great to win like that and start the game like that. But it's also great. 1, there's a sense of urgency because we got to get going because we're in the middle of game planning for Arizona. And 2, I think the guys will see that there's a lot of room for growth too.
What have you been told by somebody, Mike, that you occasionally couch the positive with what needs to improve?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Never. No.
Wow. First time for everything, Brock. Amazing what's going on here.
Oh, you know what stuck with Salk and I last week? Salky really liked it, and it resonated with me as well. Your term of shocking effort. You want to be known as a team and as a group that has that shocking effort. Do you showcase that? I know this is a short week, so maybe it's a little funky and you got to get right to business because of the game on Thursday. But is that something that you would put together clips of and highlight and show? And if so,
yeah.
Where was that yesterday?
I think a lot of the tactics and the small details in front of the team, that's not really my job. I like showing how we play through our style and trying to reinforce our style of ball. And so a lot of times it is through that, and it doesn't have to be just shocking effort. There's a lot of things that show up. It's how we run an in cut. It's how we identify a blitz, how we get lined up fast, how we take the field, how we break the huddle, how we shift in motion. All those things are really important, and we think those are edges for us. So we want the team to see it and see how it all works together, how it sets things up, and how it puts pressure on other teams. So that's really important.
Could you give us one from yesterday? One example of that.
Yeah, I'd say the keeper that we threw to Sabi, and then we ended up shoving him down to the 1 yard line. That's been a point of emphasis, and so I can't. That one will be shown today.
That's pretty cool. I like him. He just is built like a prototypical tight end.
I like him too.
For whatever reason, just seeing him out there, that's a big moose of a tight end, and it's a good lead into kind of the full, not just. You say 12 is one, but it could be 53 is one. It could be 70 is one in some ways.
Right.
Just looking at the complete whole team. How do you as a coach balance and find ways to connect with some of the guys that people outside the organization might consider the edges of the roster? I know you feel they have great importance. How do you find a way to connect with them and know who they are just as much as you do the quarterback and some of the biggest, most prominent stars on the team?
Well, I don't think we I hope people realize it's not like we rank our players and treat them accordingly.
Understandable.
They're Seahawks. We love them. We're coaching everybody. They're our guys, so we all love them up. It's like they're kids. Guys do different things and stuff, but you love them the same. I only have one kid, so I really don't know how that feels.
Yeah, you'll love them the same. Mostly. Depends on the day.
That's what my parents told me, but Maggie's my dad's clear favorite. I'm probably my mom's favorite. So there's levels.
Nice.
But those contributions from that ready squad, right? You don't call them the practice squad. They're the ready squad, and their contributions showed up in big ways yesterday. Talk to me about, in particular, the back end of your secondary. Because on paper, it would have been very easy for some to go, oh, my gosh, no Love again, or no Love, no Emmanwori, no Spoon again. How are you going to put this thing together? You call up Bell. Okada slides into the mix there. obviously, again, a prominent role for Darian. How did that back end come together, and how do you do that in kind of short order?
I mean, yeah, we said it yesterday after the game, after watching the tape. The guys did a lot of things. Our execution was, we were lacking some of that detail at the beginning of the year. The guys are on it right now. I think we can still clean up our communication, starting with me. Getting it to the rest of the team, and New Orleans puts a lot of stress on you. They go fast in some certain situations, and our place is absolutely rocking. It's like, so it's a feat to kind of get that down the waterfall, from me all the way to all three levels of the defense. And I thought we handled it as well as you can, and something that we're going to still work on. But I thought Ty tackled well. Darian obviously had plays on the ball that we want to finish, but he's playing at a high level. DeAnthony came in and he played fast and made a lot of great plays in the box. So, yeah, those guys played a great game. And look, it's not like you say, okay, let's pull out the reserve, the next wave of guys are coming in. Let's pull out that playbook. This is what you need to do A through D throughout the week. It's like, no, these guys have been in the meetings. They've been taking reps. Now they're actually taking the majority of the ones reps throughout the week, and we go through our process. And it's gonna move and curve and take detours, but it does that with no matter who's playing. And I think the guys are realizing that let's stay true to it, let's trust it, attack the heck out of it, and that lets us be as confident as we can, going into Saturday and Sunday.
Since we're talking secondary, you couldn't not notice Josh Jobe if you're watching that game at home yesterday. It felt like they threw at him a lot, and he was up to the occasion a lot. Could you talk a little bit just about his growth from when you guys first got him last year to where he is now?
I think it's just been a steady. You talk about chasing edges, stacking wings, all those things. Those incremental gains. I see a guy that wants to be great and practices that way, studies that way, prepares that way, and then on game day, this guy competes. And that's all you can ask for a corner is just freaking get after it every play. Throw your fastball on whoever you're playing and let the chips fall where they may. And that's what Josh is doing, and I think we're seeing some great results. And the great thing about him is I know he's going to stick to it. It's not like this guy's saying he's made it by any stretch, but he's just having a great start, and he's going to keep getting better. It was a great play down the goal line. Just that third down on that in cut to Olave was just was a phenomenal play.
Textbook. You want to hear the longest punt return in Seattle Seahawks history from the great Dave Rabel, and you will love the linebacker. Wyman about halfway through this. The linebacker, you'll hear his little grunt as well. Here was Mr. Horton through Steve Rabel yesterday with the longest punt return touchdown in Seahawk history.
Kroger is punting. Tory Horton, the rookie, is deep for the Seahawks. He stands just inside his own 20. I saw Kroger during warm-ups, and he had a couple of rainmakers, and here's one. This is a long, high spiral. Horton back at his own 5, gets one block, gets 2 blocks, turns upfield, got some running room across the 30, 35, he may go 40, what a block, midfield 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, Mr. Horton, touchdown, Seahawks! Unbelievable blocks, great run by the rookie, 95 yards, and the Seahawks take a 13-0 lead over the Saints. Holy catfish, what a return, and what a great job of blocking by those special teamers.
How does that come together? How does that happen?
Well, what I'm going to tell the team today, if I decide we have enough time, because we're at a shortage of time, but what I want the guys to realize is we talk about every play matters, and you take it one play at a time. We're 2 plays out of that. We stop them on a second down run to minimum yardage. We get them to 3rd and short. They're in no huddle, short yardage. We get lined up. Leo set a great edge. Leo makes a great play. We stop them to 4th and inches. They go to the tush push. Everyone's lined up, ready to go. It looked like we probably might have stopped them in that situation, but they had the false start. They're trying to draw us off sides. We maintained it, so we ended up creating a 4th and 6, which allows us to have a more aggressive punt return. So all these things are connected, and now we can set up a punt return. And so it just shows you, like, all those hidden yardage plays really matter when in the NFL, and they add up over time. And on the punt return, I mean, it's a case of Tory making a smart decision, guys blocking, to the echo of the whistle, making smart decisions. There's about 3 guys in that took that had like a possible blindside block situation that did flybys and created lanes for Tory, and Tory was decisive. He stuck his foot in the ground and got north, and that's something that has been a point of emphasis with him. And to his credit, he did it and ripped it. And obviously, Chaz had a phenomenal block at the very end. I think that was on the punter to make the final block to spring him free. So a lot of great stuff that went into the whole play.
What make Jay Harbaugh, people may not be as familiar with the name, but your special teams coordinator for the last 2 years, what makes him a good coach?
This guy is relentless with finding like the little edges and ways to coach it better than they've, like, there's no such thing as status quo with Jay. It's constantly finding a new and better way to teach something, to design something, to word something that there's, like, talk about shocking. There's so much like elegant simplicity in how he coaches position. This guy isn't just a great special teams coach. He's a great football coach. I mean, at Michigan, you name a great player that came out of Michigan in the last 10 years, Jay probably recruited him. He was the running back coach that got all those guys. He was a tight ends coach when I was there. Then he moved to safeties. I mean, he's coached all 3 levels and on all 3 phases of football, and he's one heck of a special teams coordinator too. So that's what makes him great.
Got a game ball yesterday too, I think.
He got a game
right?
ball.
That's pretty stinking cool. Hey, a couple numbers here for you, Mike. One on the really positive side, one maybe on the improvement side. We'll start with the really positive. 3.2 yards per carry allowed in that rush defense. 0 rushing touchdowns allowed now through 3 games. So when you look at what you were doing, stopping the run, what have been some of the critical elements to that success?
Guys are playing physically, and we're playing off one another. And I think that's just an attitude that they have that that's really cool right now. As of this time last year, we were bleeding, and I think we've done a great job this offseason coaching players, personnel acquisitions, and the guys are doing it at a high level, and they're determined to keep it going.
And then on the flip side, and I know some of this gets skewed because of a lot of short yardage runs and end of game runs yesterday and everything else. But on the flip side, through 3 games, 3.3 rushing yards a carry. Mm-hmm. Pass blocking incredibly well, just 3 sacks allowed in 3 games, but 3.3 yards per carry. Anything stand out in particular over the 3 games with that number?
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not even close to being good enough. It's not what we saw throughout camp. It's not what we saw in the preseason. Teams are got to give the other teams credit too. They're designing some good things and playing hard and tackling well, but we got to be better. We need to be better. We need to target it right. We need to hit our targets. We got to run off the ball better. Got to hit our combinations better. We got to run it better. So it's really all 11 that we need to step up our game. So nothing that's not fixable, which is great. Again, like I said, we're coming out of the win, and it's great that we won in that fashion. But when you watch it, no one on our football team is going to be satisfied on really in all 3 phases of the things that we fell short on, and we understand where we need to improve. And the run game's right there in the front with our offense.
Passing game obviously was pretty explosive yesterday. Last week, Clint used the phrase accuracy and aggressiveness in talking about the things that Darnold is doing really well so far.
Yep.
Obviously, you seem to concur, but can you go into maybe a little bit more detail of what that means and why that's so important for this offense?
Well, Andrew Janocko uses a phrase called "listen to your feet," and I think that paints a pretty good picture of what we're trying to achieve. So Sam's being really decisive with working through his progressions, not being too greedy, but understanding when there's an opportunity down the field, he's ripping it, and he's throwing great balls and giving our guys a chance to go make plays too. So our guys are playing at a high level. There's a couple great contested catches that we made over the last few games, and that doesn't come to life unless we protect well as well. And I think our offensive line, our tight ends, and our backs right now are are blocking well enough to make that thing come to life, and it's something we're still chasing. But our pass protection's been very good.
Kind of curious from a defensive perspective, Coach, because I know it throwing to receivers and know what elite receivers look like from my perspective of throwing it to them. JSN and what he's done these first 3 weeks, and in particular, the play that jumped out to me yesterday was the deep ball in the second half. It almost looked like, as fast as things are going, it almost looked like he slowed to a walk, to slow down just enough to keep that defender, between him and the ball, and then be able to go secure, as you said, a contested catch right there. From a defensive coach's lens and perspective, talk to me about that play maybe, and also what he's done the first 3 weeks here.
Well, downfield, when they're able to have those subtleties to adjust to those deep balls, especially the ones that are not necessarily underthrown, but just like the shorter one, like the ones where you have to kind of come back to the ball. It's so hard to defend on defense because, you're one. If you don't play it right or you don't play through the ball, the man right, you don't find the ball, it's DPI, and you're running full speed too. So I mean, that's a tough situation to be put in, and the great ones find a way, like to your point, Brock, to kind of position themselves so they can go attack the ball, and they're the ones coming down with it. And Jax has done that now. I think 2 games in a row. I'm not sure about the first game if we had a deep one. Yeah, he did. He had the 2-minute one. So 3 games in a row now he's been able to do it. And look, I mean, I'm the JSN Pied Piper here. Like we've been saying it since we walked in the building, and he keeps. I think it's a testament to his attitude. I mean, this guy, since our first conversation, and how he's operated since, to back it up, he's determined to be an elite receiver in this league, and he's well on his way.
Is Julian Love, he generally is a big part of the communication, I would assume, in the secondary. So when you are without him for a game like yesterday, who does a lot of that responsibility fall on?
Next guy in. I mean,
Ty. So is it Ty who steps into that?
Yeah,
is it Kobe who takes a role in that?
Yeah, it's everybody. It's me talking to EJ. It's EJ getting it to everybody else, and then they make it come to life. And Ty Cotta's a great communicator. He's on it. He's on his details. He's sharp. He's great. Kobe is the same way. And then when you have those second-level guys that are on their stuff too, it makes the whole thing go.
Have you had a situation in your time as a coordinator where you're kind of playing 2 linebackers as it feels like you're doing a little bit with Tyrese and Drake in season like this?
We did in 2022. We platooned a little bit. Shout out to Josh Bynes. He was our Mike at the time. And then when I was a linebacker coach, 2018, we had a great defense, and C.J. Moses was the Mike backer, and Patrick Owasso, Peanut, was platooning with Kenny Young. So it's not anything that we're not used to.
Mm-hmm. And how is that playing out? How do you see? Is that just iron sharpening iron a little bit between those two?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're at the point in the season too. Like, hey, we're going to be about competition, and if guys are earning playing time and are going to help us play great defense, they're going to play. I mean, you've seen it with Josh, you've seen it with Drake, you're seeing it with Darian Kendrick. You're seeing it up front. Derek Hall's playing at a high level right now. So if we're going to be about competition, we got to back it up with our actions. And so that's just that's a position too where we got 2 guys that are fighting for playing time.
Any of the guys that weren't able to go in the game, were any of them close to being able to go, maybe with a possibility this week?
I'm gonna make an absolute designation right now. Hold me to it. No, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We're working through the test this morning. Take it day by day. Fortunately, at some point, we're probably going to have to test it out before the game. We're not going to be really fast paced until Thursday again. So, kind of, we'll see.
Last couple weeks,
still tricky without practicing, throughout the week.
Yeah,
full speed.
Is it helpful to have a game that was somewhat in hand early, leading into a short week on a Thursday night like that? Like, is that in your mind in the third and fourth quarter of the game?
For this one it was for sure. And you'd say yes. I mean, on offense, it probably worked a little bit better because we didn't play as many plays. But I mean, I think we had like 50-something plays in the first half on defense. Is that right? It was a lot. And so, we're trying to minimize those in the second half.
Stupid special teams kept scoring too quickly.
Golly,
I mean,
seriously.
they put your defense in a bad spot.
We had a couple extended drives that we need to be able to put those out.
Talk to Jay about this. Like, hey, could you give us a little longer field on offense? Take some time.
Yeah, I think it was both Mondays last couple of weeks. You know, we came out of the game pretty clean, and then Monday was like, oof, we got some guys a little bit more banged up. I know it's early, and maybe you haven't even seen any of them yet, but did you get the sense coming out of that game, leaving the building yesterday, that hopefully there's nothing that flares up new this morning?
Yeah, there's a couple things going on that we're working through after the game, which seems like it's about par for the course now. So
okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of the way it goes. What are a couple of the keys in these short weeks? You had obviously one last year, and in a short week, you've got a process and a plan to it. From your perspective, the biggest keys to make sure, as you said, you're full speed and running and hitting come Thursday night.
Yeah, it's we need to take care of our bodies and our minds. You know, so all the recovery stuff, make sure we get adequate sleep, the travel plan, and then coaches, we got to have a tight, really effective plan that the guys can go execute, and have some change-ups in there. But whoever gets their bodies most ready to play, in my opinion, and who executes the best on these Thursday night games, have a really good chance of winning.
Where's the team confidence at right now? If you're in that locker room, how confident does this group feel right now?
I think we're confident in that. Like, when we take the field, we expect to play great football and to win the games that we're in. So they've earned that right to feel that way. I'm sure Arizona feels the same way. But we're in a good spot. And we're also hungry. You know, we're also determined to get better. And it's critical at this point of the year. I mean, we're not even a quarter way through the season. And so I'm glad we have that mentality rather than thinking that we're sweet and we've made it.
Is it true? Last thing for me, Mike, I've kind of heard, through the grapevine that maybe you and Gray Zabel and the rest of the guys are taking credit for the Mariners' success. That it was your batting practice at T-Mobile Field. That if you look at the record, in the offense in particular, from the time that Mike Macdonald was in the batter's box at T-Mobile, and the correlation between the Mariners' success on their way to winning a pennant for the first time in 2001, y'all taking a little bit of credit for that?
Maybe we do. Do you know the records, Brock, since that day?
I have to go figure that out.
Full disclosure, this is the first time I've thought of it since you said it. So. But it'd be interesting. Maybe it's a thing,
Okay. Well, we're happy to give you guys
make each other better.
Well, we appreciate it. We will get you twice this week, so we'll let you go. We'll see you on Friday after the night game in Arizona. Try not to smile between now and then because you're so excited about a second opportunity to chat with us in 1 week. But we'll look forward to it, and so much fun to do this after a great game like yesterday.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go.
It is good to see you, believe me.
There you go. There's Mike Macdonald.